You have a nice tie on for a change. Um,
For a change?
Yeah, for a change.
Okay.
No, look, I mean, I think, just to be very honest, the Cold War was heavenly for international relations scholars. Neat as ever, you've got two camps, you can analyze everything so clearly. You're with one or with the other, where do the smaller powers fit, etc. The unipolar moment upset that a little bit. But then you got into this routine of the US being the only sort of hegemon in the world and going out, and then you saw 9/11, then Iraq, etc. So it was an interventionist, forward-leaning policy, if you will, forward-based policy. I think President Trump has come and pulled that back. When you mention Iran, you're reading what I'm reading. I don't have any more information on this, but it's pretty clear that he is not the one who was looking for a new conflict. In fact, he's been very clear that he just doesn't see the value of being out there doing this, not because he feels that there is mayhem and it's not working. It's more because he says it's a homeland issue. Just come back inside your borders, figure out immigration, become less lenient on that, and deal with things internally, and let the world deal with its own mess. I mean, that sort of is Andrew Jackson in some ways, if you go back in US presidential history.
Yeah, the two strands, the Jacksonian and the Wilsonian
that's
strand.
Correct. And you want to pull back and you want to come in. Now, he has his own style of doing things. So what you're not going to find is neatness in analysis, neatness in analogies, and neatness in how things are coming together. It's more chaotic.
No, but if he doesn't want to get into this conflict, and we were talking about this earlier, and Ambassador Bryza thought that this was like a good cop, bad cop routine, then why walk out of an agreed multilateral deal, the JCPOA, and then not just walk out of it, but also slap very stringent primary and secondary sanctions?
Yeah, because I think there's a consensus that Iran needs to be holed up, isolated further, brought to its knees. I mean, I think on that, there's no debate. I mean, remember when President Obama got this deal through, it was very unpopular. I mean, he had to sort of, get his veto powers in and sort of threaten everything that he could. And still, it was a very unpopular deal. It wasn't, didn't go through comfortably. So if it were ever going to be a right-wing president, I think President Trump or anybody else, I was pretty sure that you would have a problem with JCPOA. This one, of course, has been done in a different way. As I said, he has a different style of doing it. I think getting Iran in the dock further, whether it's at the behest of the US or Israel or whatever it is, was a consensus point that was going to happen. And I actually think it's worked. Look, I mean, Iran is isolated by the US, but the Europeans haven't stood up at all in the JCPOA. The Saudis...
No, but they can't really. I mean, they tried to, for instance, bypass through, they have this special purpose vehicle, which they call Instex. But that doesn't really cover...
No, but that's the point. So basically, it means that the strategy has worked. Iran is in the dock. And my own sense is Iran will have to renegotiate on JCPOA because it has nowhere else to go right now. I mean, you've seen the Iranian foreign minister go around the region, capital to capital. What did he get? I mean, this very difficult moment for countries.
I was talking to some Iranian policymakers on one of my programs, and they said that Russia and China have been helping them out, and they will continue to help them out. But of course, at the same time, they also conceded the fact that the economy is under tremendous pressure and the pressure is mounting.
Help how? Look, I mean, the point is you've got, I mean, this is well known. There's no hidden secret. UAE used to be a base through which banking channels were used. Of course, if a country is isolated and completely sort of cornered, they are going to use these means to get out. But the fact of the matter is, look at Iran's potential and look at where things are. I mean, these are serious sanctions. The economy is hurting. Yes, it is true that I don't think...